Hey guys, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a reading. One, I want to kind of calm some nerves. Okay, what the big thing that people are kind of talking about. Some of you might not have heard about it, but if you do a little search, you'll see people talking about it. There's all different kind of views that are popping up here, and the thing is, if you've heard about Cern, okay, and also July 5th. That's what we're going to talk about. And I'll explain why I've got Shiva here in a minute here. Okay, so let's just kind of get to it. And it took me, hopefully this is a good article. I was doing a search because there was a lot. When I pulled up, I just put in CERN in July 5th, you're going to see all kinds of crazy articles popping up about opening portals and demonic activity and all kinds of crazy stuff. So let me kind of go ahead and do this. This is from the World News Net. There are many doomsday conspiracy theories as of July 5th. New CERN Large Hadron Collider experiment is set to produce unprecedented levels of energy. It is true, July 5th, they're going to do an experiment. The European Atomic Energy Agency is celebrating its 10th anniversary by reopening the Large Hadron Collider after it was closed 3 years ago. And the European organization, also known as CERN, CERN, operates the world's largest particle physics laboratory. The main function of CERN is to provide the particle accelerator and other infrastructure required for high energy physics. Through international collaboration, such as the creation of the World Wide Web, a number of high profile experiments have been built at the Institute. CERN will also be used to refer to laboratories with 2660 staff in 2019 and approximately 12,400 users from institutions in more than 70 countries. CERN is set for a series of events starting July 3rd, 2022, celebrating the 10th anniversary of discovery of Higgs boson. July 5th, 2022, the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, we'll just call it LHC, will collide at an unprecedented energy level. So see, this is what a lot of people, about this. The world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator, LHC, is at the heart of the conspiracy theory surrounding CERN. People share a superstition about a portal that opens after two high-energy particle beams are set to move at a speed close to the speed of light before they collide. Anyway, at CERN, we'll open this is quote, we'll open a multi-dimensional portal on July 5th, use dark matter. Everything is fine. Someone says, they probably got that little burning dog. Okay, and just various quotes. CERN became the news after the release of the hit show Stranger Things in 2016. And it is kind of funny, Stranger Things is out, and I think they just released the final episode, am I correct? I'm still trying to catch up. I'm only on episode 4. Don't spoil it for me. You spoil it for me, I kick you off. Okay, don't spoil it for me. Okay, and then one way to see evidence in other dimensions involves gravity, specifically the theoretical particles associated with gravity called gravitons energy reported. According to one theory, gravitons, hope I'm saying that right, can move in all dimensions. Okay, so so basically, they're going to do a big experiment, to kind of run everything together. They're just gonna, which I know a lot of these things sometimes are try to even recreate the Big Bang or maybe create, black holes and all that. So a lot of people are coming up with all kinds of things. Now, of course, I know how these things impact the spiritual community. That, this could open a portal, this could cause a shift. And I'm going to say, on one end, I'm not going to disagree with you. Okay, in the sense that things like this certainly can, cause some kind of shift. Especially when we've got something major like this happening. CERN, which is basically located about Switzerland, I believe. But a lot of their goals, like I says, their goal, figure out what the universe is made of and the laws of physics that dictates its behavior. And, working on all kinds of discoveries. But there's if you just plug in, just say CERN in July 5th, you're going to have all kind of conspiracy theory stuff that is going to be popping up here. That is crazy. Now, let me go to, here's the Wikipedia. Okay, that would help. I try to also, sometimes I try to calm people down because I don't want people, overreacting. But no, I still do look at spiritual connotations. I am going to do a read on it too, okay? I've got a deck, and I'm actually going to use my Starman Tarot. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Okay, so this is about the LHC. Let's just say it that way. The LHC is the world's largest and high-energy particle collider. It was built by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, which they call CERN, between 1998 and 2008. So about 10 years, and collaboration with over 10,000 scientists and hundreds of universities and laboratories, as well as more than 100 countries. It lies in a tunnel 27 kilometers, or about 17 miles, in circumference, and as deep as 175 meters beneath the France-Switzerland border near Geneva. Okay, so it's out there, guys. Okay, so and you could look this up. So it just kind of talks about, but yeah, they've done collisions in 2010. They did that, and that was some of the beginning ones. But there's, of course, right now, there's and oh, here's even popular culture. Let's see. They should mention, like I said, Stranger Things has been in various shows, has kind of talked about it. But there's definitely, the novel Angels and Demons by Dan Brown involves antimatter created by the LHC to be used in weapon against the Vatican. So even it's kind of it all. In response, Cern published a facts or fiction page discussing the accuracy of the book's portrayal of the LHC, Cern, and particle physics. So they had to do that. So remember that Angels and Demons, there was a little bit of that in there. Okay, so it's kind of made its way into things. So this is what I want to do and talk about. There's all kind. If you go on TikTok, people got stuff going on, and what it can mean. Could it potentially open some kind of portal, make a shift? I mean, when I look as a spiritual person, and what I know about portals, what do I believe in portals? Oh my God, yes. As a matter of fact, portals was one of my downloads. Now, if you don't know what a download is, there are spiritualists, maybe after they have an awakening, this is sometimes information that comes from a source or spirit, which is basically downloaded to us that we may not have necessarily read on the internet or read from a book or were told by any source. It came directly from source. You never knew anything about it. So basically, when it came to things like portals opening in dimensions, I had never read any of it at that time. I was awakening right when the internet was just barely beginning, guys. Okay, for that, but becoming aware of portals, how they work, operate, it's kind of like a terror, you could say, in the fabric of reality, if you want to put it, or an opening to the astral. I was aware of portals, how they work, also how they can open and how they can close, and I had never read anything on it, and I was calling them portals before I ever read anything. Okay, so I that was download knowledge. And I'm not trying to give any claim to fame, but that is how it came to me, and that is how I was able to see and understand them, which I'm actually glad that it came that way, because later when I found articles and did research, I was like, oh, this is a thing that spiritualists. So I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy and stuff. So portals are definitely a real thing on the path for me, especially. And they're, just like working with a Ouija board can open a portal. Now this could this open? Well, sure it could. Sure it could. And that's one of the things we're going to kind of look into and cause a shift. Now, another thing, there are some people who believe with certain work, maybe that CERN has done, or maybe even other scientists around the world, that maybe there has been some Mandela effects, which I know many of you are aware of what they are. If you do not know, you can do your research, do your Googles, that there are people who there's just slight differences, or maybe something completely disappears that you really thought existed or was a thing, that there's some kind of subtle change. There was kind of a funny one, for me, which was just even the other day. I was at my boyfriend's, and I picked up a can of like Diet Coke, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, didn't these used to be white and red? And he's like, no, they've always been silver in this. So then he was showing me, pictures of Diet Coke cans. Now, it's possible. Maybe I got it mixed up with Diet Dr. Pepper, so I'm not going to worry about that one. Matter of fact, I have a Diet Dr. Pepper here, which is clearly red and white. I could have easily confused that. But I could have sworn a Diet Coke was white and red. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But I am one of those people who swears, and I talked about this in the group about a month or so ago, that there was a Shazam movie with Sinbad. I could have sworn there was now that may not necessarily be Mandela, but maybe something that got kind of wiped or something. Maybe people trying to mess with us. There may be a little more to it, but I'm pretty sure there was. And when I found out that never happened, that or at least in this reality, I was like, no, it did. Okay, another thing, another one that this one I just learned of, Ed McMahon. I could have sworn he worked for the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. If you remember those, they would come, they would have a big check. Ed McMahon was supposed to come to the door with the check, right? And ring the doorbell, and you won, Publishers Clearinghouse. Apparently, in this reality, he never worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. He worked for he was he did commercials maybe for American Family Publishers. He did a few little spots, but he didn't really do much of anything. And he didn't go to anybody's door with checks. So when I found this out, I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be right. So I've always remembered him with Publishers Clearinghouse. Like, you would get the things. I think there was little stamps. You would order a magazine, and you would hope maybe you would win. And that was the thing, but you would order magazines, and anybody could participate, but you definitely had better odds if you purchased a magazine. So there's so many different ones. The Bernstein Bears, the different spellings. I think Jif peanut butter. There are various different kind of subtle shifts that you could swear was one way, and then you find out in this reality it's totally different. Okay, so yeah. So really, when I kind of looked in there, I'm like, no, there is something there, because I could swear I remember this and this. I can't be losing my mind here. And then to find out other people, yes, I remember. Yes, I remember. Well, we can't all be crazy. How could the collective all, that there are those that remember, but then there are those that do not. I say, no, that never existed. By the way, I am aware, as far as the Shazam, that there is a Kazam with Shaq. I'm aware of both in my memory. Okay, so I'm not confusing one with the other. I clearly remember Shazam. So many people kind of believe that there's various things that maybe cause a shift. Could there be some kind of government thing? Could there be some science? I don't know. I have actually some wonders or some theories that maybe when the Mayan calendar ended, December 21, 2012, that there was a major shift that occurred then. Okay, so I've got some theories about that there's an ending, but it's because they picked that date for a reason. Okay, they picked that date for a reason, but then certain changes kind of take place and everything. So, but anyway, let's talk about Shiva while I've got this statue here. Now, there are certain Christians especially, and not just Christians, but even people that are maybe not Christians, but believe this could be some kind of, they're going to open a portal to hell. They're coming up with various conspiracy theories that are dark. Now, this statue, a very large statue of this, the dancing Nataraja, or the dancing Shiva, it sits outside of Cern. And basically, there's a few things. One, the Indian government, asked that they could have this statue out there, which is very symbolic. This is kind of the creation, destruction, creation of the universe is all over again. Now, this statue is very old. As you can see, some of my little fire spokes are, this thanks to moving several times. Okay, so but I don't dare get rid of a Shiva statue, so I keep it. Okay, and so it's like, I'm real sorry I broke you. I don't know where his little spokes went. So maybe one day I'll figure out why they did. There's always a little reason, maybe why something happened. But I keep my statues. Okay. But anyway, so this statue sits out there. So then there are those that are saying they're going to open a portal, and to hell, and the demons are going to get loose. Well, if you look, what is Shiva standing on? A demon. Yes, he is. So, my kind of theory, what I'm kind of feeling, not necessarily anybody says it, especially a bunch of scientists, and many of the scientists we know can be atheists. That's just the way they are. But, if this... I am betting that the Indian government probably wanted this statue out there. One, because they do definitely believe, have their own beliefs in, the Hindu gods, especially Shiva, and they know they're working with, particles going like that, trying to recreate things with the universe, which is a lot of what Shiva does, right? And so they probably want to make sure everything is kind of safe. And so I feel that Shiva is really a protector of that, standing outside of the facility. Okay, so, and if you look at this, and this is, and let me get the exact, it's a while since I've looked at the story. let me get the exact story here for you guys. It's been a long time. I forgot the name of the demon. Let's see. The dancing Naharaja, Shiva, and the demon. Hopefully I can even get that to translate. Okay, hold on. Let me the dancing Shiva and the demon and the cosmos. Let's see. That's probably okay. And here it is. Why is Shiva dancing on a demon? First, it is seen as the image of his rhythmic or musical play, which is the source of all movement within the universe. This is represented by the circular or elliptical frame surrounding Shiva. And notice this is a very kind of yoga kind of looking dance he's doing. And secondly, the purpose of his dance is to release the souls of all men from the snare of illusion. Yes. Okay, this is another thing. And but that didn't answer the demon. So let me go a little further here. Hold on. Okay, there we go. This is a Wikipedia. So that, yes, that is one. But it is definitely, and that's what Carl Sagan really liked about the dancing Shiva, which was in the cosmos, was to show the creation, destruction. He felt that they were very, very close to on, the originally with the Vedas, in comparison to other religions like, the creation story of, in Christianity, that they were really close. Okay, within their day. Here it is. Okay, here it is. It typically shows Shiva dancing in one of the Natya Shastra poses, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, holding various symbols, which vary with historic period and region, trampling upon a demon shown as a dwarf. This is so hard to pronounce. Pasmara or Moya Laka, who symbolize spiritual ignorance. Okay, so that's what I was like, I know what does the demon symbolize, and I wanted to get that. And there may be other deeper philosophies, but yeah, this awaken. Okay, and definitely one of the symbols is to awaken to and demons really, in especially the East. This is also very much even in Buddhism, which I know, Hinduism and Buddhism, they have their various differences. I could probably break down, philosophically, especially when it comes to the soul. Okay, there is Atman and Anatman, where, they don't necessarily believe, like the Buddhist doesn't believe in a permanent eternal soul necessarily, but they have to acknowledge that some kind of essence continues and continues. Okay, just like with the Buddha, each, here we go. We've got candlesticks, and then one flame, and then just keep transference that flame to each candlestick. Okay, so there is an essence, obviously, of transference from life to life. They have to acknowledge that, but they don't necessarily acknowledge, a permanent. So there's some differences, but at the same time, I don't like to see that Hinduism and Buddhism are necessarily in opposition with each other, but they're almost each other turned inside out. If I was going to say it that way, they're not necessarily completely opposed. I know there are those who would say they are talking about opposite things, with Buddhism. And then you've got also different branches, like the Tibetan Buddhism is very different from the Mahayana. And there's various differences. But let me go back. I'll go on a tangent. But anyway, so here we have the dancing Shiva. Everything kind of circulates with Shiva and everything with his, and we know he can be the god of destruction. Okay, it is one of the things he is known for. He is of that, Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. He is a destroyer. Okay, he is a destroyer, but he's not a destroyer. It can sometimes seem like the tower. Okay, if I was going to talk about tarot, definitely can be. And one of the things we could be seeing are crumbling, but a lot of it is to destroy things, so you can also see clearly and get past illusion. Okay, which one of the things, a lot of you are even awakening right now, and you're kind of witnessing a lot of the madness that is going on. A lot of the craziest madness, you're becoming more aware. You could say even Shiva is getting you to open your third eye, which is one of the ways. Once he opens his third eye, it destroys everything. Period. Everything is destroyed. That's why very often you see him kind of meditating, and he's got his eyes closed. But once that third eye opens, it destroys everything. Okay? And what it really is to shatter illusions. So anyway, That's kind of the philosophical, but we also have kind of this other little bit of metaphysical that perhaps even a few things. One, I could definitely see a bunch of scientists wanting to destroy ignorance, right? I would definitely want to see that. That would make very much sense. But also, if there's any kind of fear, like, hey, if there's anything that we're doing that could possibly bring about something negative, Shiva would be a great protector to conquer any kind of demonic activity, right? Okay, he can definitely stomp on him. This is the guy, the destroyer. He can destroy it. Okay, so this is a great protector, is basically what I'm saying. To give you a little bit of, and probably is why he's kind of there. But he's also very symbolic for the cosmos, which, like I said, even in the show Cosmos, Carl Sagan shows this statue, and he explains it. In a very respectful way. Even though, yes, he was an atheist, he still had a lot of respect, for the culture and things like that. He didn't find it ignorant. He found it like that they were really expressing and they were connecting with the universe, even with this wonderful statue. Okay, so this is what I want to kind of do for you guys. As there's a lot of conspiracy that is going on. Now, like I said, could it do some kind of shift here? And then all of a sudden it's mandala effects and everything. Absolutely, that I'm going to kind of look into that. And wouldn't it be great if it could shift things in a positive direction, or maybe, like I said, we got Shiva here. Maybe, some people, it could maybe spark a little bit of awakening, open ignorance. But I know it's talking about this portal, and that a lot of you guys want to kind of know about. But like I said, I highly doubt, this is my own thing, especially kind of knowing this guy is there, that it would open anything to a demonic portal. Okay, this is a little different than Astro World. And if anybody goes and watches some of my videos when I kind of cover the situation with Astro World, that was a portal. And to see, that wasn't even as big as this. And we can see how that was. Now, that definitely opened a lower level astral portal. We know that did. That was really negative. And it definitely caused a lot of people to wake up. And then, hey, go into some of these concerts and what some of these musicians are doing. They started paying attention. I feel some people started paying attention maybe to what they're listening to, what these musicians are about, that are in the music industry. And there's some funny stuff going on. I will acknowledge, I do believe there's some strange stuff going on when I started because that kind of started getting me look at some things with some, various musicians. What are they doing here? Even with some of their videos and imagery, like they definitely got some demonic kind of stuff they're playing with, bathing in blood and all kinds of weird stuff. And even some have been even talking, they'll go on video and talk about, I saw myself, they're saying stuff like that on video to people. It's a crazy thing right there. So yes, so I definitely believe Astral World, that was a very clear opening a portal. And if anybody thinks that wasn't, they're crazy. Okay, so I'm on with that. That's not a conspiracy. That was done right before our eyes. Okay, so but this, I so far I'm not feeling it's something like that. That these are sinister scientists trying to open a portal to hell. Okay, not with Shiva outside. This is not who they would have outside. Okay, I'm telling you, that's not what would happen. And he is definitely not demonic. We don't even want to even think about Shiva as being that whatsoever. Okay, don't even call this that. That could be very upsetting. Okay. But I could definitely see how Christians could look at this, or even Kali, and that's what they're going to think because, of the way they were programmed. And see, that's why, one of the things I said before is when you learn about things and educate yourself about certain things, it will take away your fear. A lot of people are taught to fear, especially fear other religions, cultures, various things. But when you learn and educate yourself, it will take away your fear. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. That's the way it is. So anyway, so we've got Shiva here. Let's leave him up here. I'm gonna leave him up here and have his energy, which I normally don't always have his energy. But now you know a little bit about what's going on. Just, and I'm not a physicist, so I don't claim to know all about all that. But I do know, when they've got these little like protons and particles, and they're going to do this, and they're real small. I mean, they're, that you could, God, what is it? Like even the tip of that pen, you could fit like trillions and so many on just the tip of that pen. I don't even know the count, but it's something insane. Okay, just how, small yet how many, just on the tip of there. What can be done? So imagine, many. Okay, what can be done? So it's gonna be some interesting stuff. But yes, let's get to the read. So I just want to kind of talk about it, give a little bit of education, because one of the things I try to do, if I can do in my reads at all, is I definitely don't like to follow, things that are conspiracy. I try to clear them up, give you some kind of knowledge about things, to the best of my ability. But I still do, of course, I look at certain things in the spiritual. Like I said, I do believe definitely in portals. I do believe they can be open. I do got some feels about the mandala effect. People are not necessarily wrong on that. And of course, this goes way back to I should say Mandela. I always say Mandela. Nelson Mandela, and see, that was kind of a hazy memory for me, because there are people who believe, they thought he passed away like in prison, but then here he is and he becomes president, and they're like, wait a minute, I thought he died, kind of weird things, right? It's kind of weird. And I definitely, I've got some books. I definitely have some, books on my shelf, with my spiritual, Crack in the Cosmic Egg, The Holographic Universe. I've read, I've got some of those goodies that are on there, definitely about, certain things with parallel realities that maybe we can make a shift. Oh, I definitely believe we can do that. There definitely, that can be done. And then maybe, kind of look into there. For one to do it, let's just say it would take an incredible amount of energy, though. Okay, but then to shift a whole planet, and it kind of makes you wonder, are they trying to shift us in a better parallel reality? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a physicist, I'm a spiritualist. And let's just go ahead and get that tarot read going. But I thought this would be kind of an interesting one, especially for those people that are curious and so forth. Let's go ahead and check it out. But yeah, there's some, just be real careful, especially any Christianized type of views about opening a portal to hell. For one thing, when it comes to things like hell, I'm very, I do accept there is a lower astral. I do believe astral planes have a little different view of things. I also believe we all inevitably evolve into the light. This is kind of a big one. It's a little hard to shuffle, so I'm just going to mix it up, okay? But I do believe we all evolve in the light. And a lot of that is really, yes, from Hinduism. It's also a little even from Buddhism, not that they believe in anything permanent, but in the sense that the Bodhisattva will continue to keep coming back, life after life, until every blade of grass is enlightened. So, but yeah, I kind of look at Hinduism, Buddhism. I know they're different, but yet I really feel they're each other turned inside out, especially when it comes to either an eternal or impermanent soul. I really feel that's what it is. It's not necessarily an equal and opposite thing. I know some people may differ with me in philosophy, and it's real hard to explain, but I don't necessarily see them, it's not the same as, say when the let's say the Catholics and the Protestants go at it. Okay, it's a little bit different situation. Okay, so all right, so here we go. Do we have to worry about a portal to hell opening? So she was like, please stop being ignorant. That's what she was saying. I'm actually going to flip it. Spirit wants me to go this way. Let's see what's going on. So there we go. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles that is popping up. So this is very interesting. So one is an ace, and we do have the spirit symbol there. Earth, air, water, fire, spirit. Okay, that is popping up in here. Now, remember, I'm doing the Starman deck, though, so there's a lot of imagery kind of here. And we've got, kind of this, it's a little bit of a chaotic kind of image and everything. It's a little, it definitely got some science and everything kind of going on. So it almost looks like, look at all that energy. And that is popping up in there. So this is a very good card to really pop up with what is going to be going on. We can almost look at this. What if this was even symbolic of the atom itself? Okay, the particle, the atom and everything. And so let's kind of go ahead and just kind of that seed and everything, and there's so much life in that, when it comes to the atoms, subatomic particles, all that stuff and everything. So the ace is a really good card, guys. So that's what they're going to be doing is kind of, and all that energy, they're going to be doing some work, some heavy duty work, right? Awesome. So let's go ahead and see. I don't even know what would necessarily be a portal type of card, but Shiva will get me there, okay? So let's kind of go ahead and look at that. So then we've got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position. And this is the opposing card. So Three of Pentacles is especially about teamwork. So this is very fitting with all the scientists kind of teaming up, and look at all this imagery there. Look at all that we've got there. So we've got a lot of teamwork that is kind of putting in to this. Now, the opposition, the reason why I feel it's, sometimes they can be complementary, but there is a reversal of this, in the sense that I feel there's a lot of fear and negativity. Notice, see how when it reverses, right? Here comes, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, right? But then we've got this reversal. It almost looks like this guy, is he falling into hell? Are we opening a portal to hell? We've got this, the Pentacles reverse, and everybody's so fearful of the demonic and everything. So a lot of this, I feel a lot really is going to be fearful. Like I said, people fear that which they don't understand. But could it still potentially be opening a portal and so forth? That's what we're going to kind of look at here. But so far, like I said, that's more the opposition, that here's the event, okay, the Ace of Pentacles, they're going to work with, these some kind of particles and everything. Like I said, I'm not a physicist, but the ace seems to be a real good symbol for that, right? With earth, air, water, fire, spirit, energy, all that, powerful. And then this teamwork, they feel that there's negative teamwork that all these scientists are doing, who the majority are probably atheists, right? So it kind of seems a little crazy that they would all be, doing something negative. And then there could be those that, well, maybe they're atheists, but maybe they don't know what they're doing. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so Shiva, we're gonna try to clear some ignorance. So we've got the Hangman in the reverse position, is popping up in here. So with this kind of energy, I feel one of the things is, this is kind of a situation that has been put on hold for a while, but now everything is going to reverse and everything. And really a lot of it, other meaning popping up in here, is that, everybody's got a different view or perspective. Now notice kind of, see this lightning. So remember, there's a lot of energy. I think this was a good deck to pull, guys. What do you think? There's going to be a lot of energy that they're going to be dealing with. It's going to be mad energy. But a lot of people are kind of nervous about what this energetic work that they're going to do, which is going to be, this may be even the biggest one they've done. Okay, with this, what could be, say, unleashed. They're a little worried about it and so forth. So let's kind of go ahead and look what is next to that there. Okay, so then we've got the Prince of Wands in the reverse position. So let me kind of go ahead and look at that with that. I'm looking more especially in terms of energy and everything. I love this David Bowie deck. There's so much. But yeah, so far, when I'm looking at this and everything, I just see, I don't necessarily see a portal, not yet, that is popping up. But I look at this Prince, the initiation, I'm really thinking of energy, especially with that wands. But also, like I said, everybody's got a different perspective. Now, as I kind of look at that in the same token, that, spiritualists, it certainly wouldn't hurt to really kind of tune in and want to, get this to, a positive shift. Or could we even potentially take some kind of quantum leap? So people that feel kind of trapped, suspended in this reality could leap into another. Yeah, I don't see why not. That could be a possibility. So let's kind of go ahead and look at this. So then we got the Four of Pentacles. I got to look at the art as I kind of do this, guys, okay? Four of Pentacles can also be, now one of the things the Four of Pentacles can be keeping kind of things, close to the chest, maybe what things are doing. And I feel like one of the things, if they would be a little more open about what kind of work they're doing and things like that, and that would be a little bit better, so people would be less confused. But even you could see this, there's little DNA and all kinds of stuff that is on there, all kinds of, with the spicy. So I know a lot of people are kind of worried, and challenged with that. But yeah, one of the things the Four of Pentacles can be sometimes keeping things closed and everything. So I feel like one of the things is if they, were a little more open about what they're doing or explanatory, maybe that would take away some of the myth that is going on right now. Okay, So let's kind of go ahead and see. I'm going to pull two for this one. Okay. Okay, so we got the Prince of Cups reversed, and yeah, are these sticking together? Wait a minute. I'm not sure if they, I don't think they are. Nope, they're not. Okay, so we've got, let's see, Six of Wands. Okay, so Six of Wands can be a victory card, which is one energy. So I feel like they've definitely had some successes, being able to do things. This can be also another successful move, that they can, maybe they can recreate a black hole, which it may only last for a little bit. Whereas you're dealing with trying to recreate, things that the spirit did at one time, which is very challenging. But there's definitely some work there. And then the Prince of Cups energy in the reverse, I feel a lot of that, even, some of the empaths that are kind of tuning in, using their empathy, intuition, and everything. Just be, this will probably be a good time, but just to give a little advice, maybe kind of shield, definitely kind of shield. This could be some heavy energies that are going to be kind of going out, with the earth. Like I said, it's definitely not doomsday. It's not going to end the world. It's not going to be like that. I don't get any of that. But it definitely, this could be a heavy energy time. Okay, this could be a heavy energy time. But it is very interesting. It's coming after the 4th of July with everything that's going on. Okay, so then we've got the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles can be that kind of out in the cold kind of energy, that kind of stuff. And then we can kind of see this here. Okay, so, and one of the things also with the Five of Pentacles, very often that can be that symbol that help is on the way, that really, that the doors could open to help and assistance. One of the things that, so we're kind of out in the cold and feeling in a way, way here, but then on the other side, we've got this kind of window glass and everything, and that there's another kind of reality there. So technically, could we possibly make a shift into another reality? Where we've got people kind of out in the cold and kind of struggling, and they can maybe better their position by taking a leap. Maybe. Okay. And it is a 5, which is kind of being in the middle, that maybe there could be a potential shift. Let's go ahead and look at that. Ooh, we got the Hierophant. The Hierophant is popping up here. Okay. So, one of the things, and we've been talking about them a lot, in this sense, especially, but this one is a little bit different, especially in, the Starman Tarot. But one of the things also, the religious and things like that, definitely a lot of people, I'm going to put it this way, I'm not going to only go to Christian theology, but there are a lot of people based on their religions or even light workers. Look at the little people, they look like light workers, okay? And light bodies are, they all got some kind of an impression, what these certain things can do, that this can kind of open up. But, but I do believe we can still shift in a positive direction, that we could have a shift. Like I said, I'm not necessarily getting this portal open into a hell. I'm just not feeling that, guys. I feel it could go more positive. Like I said, Shiva could keep the demons at bay, okay? With that energy, standing guard. This is a very powerful energy here. But is it kind of also, is some things going to be kind of coming, to challenge some things? Absolutely. Now, the Four of Wands is popping up in there. Four of Wands is in the reverse position. Now, the Four of Wands also can be a symbol of completion for me. So I do get a reversal in the sense, that there is still many more projects to come. Okay, that is one of the things that I could definitely look at, more projects to come, for, Cern as far as discovery. They could probably learn some things, but they're certainly not going to solve all the mysteries of the universe on the 5th. Okay, that's just not a possibility there. But definitely, this still could be a productive time. Let me get a clarifier for that. I would like to kind of look and kind of challenge there. Ooh, I got that Strength card, though. Ooh, look at that. So see, this is, look at the Lions. So this could actually very positive. Actually, that even the women, I know a lot of women are kind of struggling, that some of this energy, we could possibly even shift into some kind of positive direction with some of this energy that's popping up here. And, like I said, there's more things to come, but look at that Strength card and everything. So this could be a good time even for light workers, and to do some work and, and use their power. Except, yep, see, there you go, the Empress. I have a feel there's something positive coming for women even out of this thing. I have to say, it's kind of popping up in there. Look at the Empress. And remember, we've been talking about her a lot because of everything that is going on. Okay? and it's coming right after the 4th of July and all this stuff. I know Shiva isn't happy about this. Let's kind of go ahead and see there. Yeah, Two of Cups reversed. And other things, that are kind of coming, the way people are kind of judging relationships, soulmates. But one of the things I want you to kind of look at this image. Now, it is a reversal. Don't worry about the reversal. I'll explain that in a moment. But see how people are kind of coming together. They're kind of meditating. And we've got that healing symbol up there as well. We've got a good, like, kind of healing symbol. It's also could be a Kundalini symbol. So one of the things kind of looking at this is actually this could potentially, I would say, cause some people to awaken. Okay, is it about getting rid of ignorance, right? So this could actually cause an awakening for many people with this shift, or even those that are awakened, even shifting maybe, up in vibration. But one of the things with the reversal of the Two of Cups energy, this is definitely a time, to try to, kind of notice the way the soulmates, are kind of connecting and kind of, blending together and so forth, that kind of energy, that this would be really a time, if you've got a good soulmate, working together would be very beneficial. Two, especially, with that masculine, feminine energy, it doesn't have to be straight. It could also be feminine, but also kind of working together with a partner could be very beneficial. Let's kind of go ahead and see what we've got there. Three of Cups in the reverse position. Yeah, there's a lot. Here comes women. Three of Cups can be symbolic of my three ladies and stuff, and the three fates and everything. I'm telling you, there's a little something there. What do we got there? Ooh, the Ten of Wands. Let's talk about it. Now, look at this, though. Let me show you this card in a minute. This is a little different and stuff. This is heavy duty stuff here. Okay, so we've got that Ten of Wands energy, and this is a tough image. Remember, the Ten of Wands can be the guy carrying the heavy burden and so forth, and just the exhaustion. But really, when I look at this, God, wow, this is so symbolic. One of the things kind of looking at this image, there's this kind of desert, energy, just there's no growth and everything. We've even got this, see the steps and kind of the graffiti on there, and then just, the labor and people just working so hard, working themselves to get, and the suffering and the oppression, okay, that is going on. So this really makes me feel, that this kind of shift here going on, I feel especially, even, the spirit really wants to take on that, especially, anybody being oppressed, certain things by ignorance, like the poverty, this desolation and everything that is occurring in the desert. So some of this, kind of energy, even if the scientists maybe are kind of doing one work, could actually propel something to come on, especially one of the ways to combat even things like that is more awakening itself. But definitely Shiva does not want to see this suffering and this oppression, that is happening. They want to put an end to it. But a lot of this, no, I do definitely feel a shift. Let me pull a clarifier for that. There's a few things popping up here. Okay, the Five of Cups reverse. Okay, so the Five of Cups reverse. Wow, okay. The art is heavy, guys, so give me a moment here. And we know, wow. Wow. Now, one of the things kind of looking in here, this almost, when you kind of look at it, I mean, this could be taken as a portal almost, but it almost looks like the evil eye. The protector of the evil eye. I have it on my bracelet. If you kind of look right here, I've got evil eye. I've got the Hamsa. I wear evil eye protection, but it's blue. That's why I'm saying the protector of the evil eye. So a few things here. One of the things, it definitely makes me feel that there is protection. Okay. Remember what we talked about. Okay. That there is definitely spiritual protection, with that, and everything. But I definitely do feel, still there is some kind of shift that is going to take place, because one of the things there is this oppression. I feel definitely that spirit wants to start working on and getting things into some kind of shift direction. Now, like I said, the intent is certain. I know they're just physicists. They, like I said, they may not necessarily be spiritual, except for, maybe the Hindus and everything. A lot of them are going to be atheists. That's just the way a lot of scientists are. But still, there are some things there that are coming in. But there are some various changes, and it's almost like this kind of energy, maybe while not totally intended, is some kind of kickstart. There's a little Shiva energy that is definitely going to be happening on July 5th. And a lot of it, like I said, there's a problem, as far as seeing this oppression, that is going on with people, this suffering. And one of the things, the soulmates kind of hooking up, the healers working together. I get that message with that Two of Cups. It is reversed, that people need to come together, okay, and kind of join forces. Okay, and I've also got that strength, that the spiritualists, especially light workers, can get stronger. Definitely that feminine power to bring that out and get stronger. Which, remember, Shiva, what is Shiva's source of spiritual power? Shakti, the feminine. Okay, and everything. But we've got that Hierophant that is kind of sitting there. There's a lot of people with their own kind of spiritualities and things like that, their own kind of views and stuff, what there is. But notice these little light people, these light workers that are kind of emerging. And it almost does look like, when we look at that, something opening. So one of the things, I do definitely feel a shift. I do feel something opening. I do not feel a portal to hell. No, not at all. I do not feel, and if anything, this could be a positive thing. Looking at, especially with the Five of Cups, with this kind of, it does, I don't know if it's necessarily intentional, but it almost does kind of look like symbolic of the evil eye protection with the blue eye, which is supposed to be a protector. I do definitely feel, especially that there are those that will be protected. But I do feel this kind of energy when I'm kind of tuned in, just kind of feeling, sitting here with my Shiva friend here, and especially that Ace of Pentacles, popping up, which could be real good symbolic of the atom, that there's definitely wanting to get some things going on to start stripping the ignorance. Okay, this is definitely something that the spirit has been working on for a very long time. And why doesn't it all happen in one swoop? When I look at it, the way things are going, I mean, there are things that are being done in our face at this point. There are things happening in people's faces, and they're still, denying the truth. It's crazy. And I know a lot of you guys are getting frustrated with it, that you're seeing it. But let's pull a few more. Oh, I just stepped on a cat. Are you okay? Oh, that's a sensitive one. Okay, let's just, like, three more. What does Shiva have to say about this? Shiva is the person here. So we've got the Two of Swords energy popping up in here. Kind of look at that image. Now, the Two of Swords can be about making a choice. Now, remember, I'm tuned in. What does Shiva have to say here? A Two of Swords is that energy of kind of, sitting there and kind of having to make a choice, with self, kind of like, what side are you going to be on here? And so we definitely want to choose the light. We want to choose the light and the right way. But also, look at that, just very powerful image, that we've got kind of standing in there, and this is a woman here standing in her power. And also, one of the things, there's even a wolf standing behind her. She's also even got the serpent, which one of the things that he always has, the blue neck, and the serpent around his neck, which is, to control everything, not poison and everything. And so there's so much, here in this image. But we, really, I do definitely feel, we got to choose the light. We got to choose the right way. We got to make a choice, with certain things. Let's kind of look at that. The Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position. We're looking at a wheel, right? But yeah, the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position, that a lot of it, I feel at the moment things are challenging, definitely. That they're not going the direction you want to go. But really, I feel like really that spirit is saying, you can shift things in a positive direction if you make the right move, if you make the right choice, especially. And let's look at that final one. The Six of Swords in the reverse position. Oh, man, guys, you're going to trip when you see this. You're going to trip when you see this. Look at this image. Look at this image. This is insane. There is so much in this image, it's going to blow your mind. Now, we know there are things going on with Roe versus Wade, okay? But one of the things, now, this card is reversed, but let me show it to you upright. Look at that. We've got a little embryo there. But we've also got this Native American spirit here that is kind of popping up, and they're just kind of dancing on the land. And this is a really beautiful image. And this looks, I'm not sure, I am dealing with the deck, but we've almost got this Aztec type of image and everything that is popping up in there. And then we've also even got, the land and the cougar. So several things when I look at this, and this is a Six of Swords. Now, this could be also a traveling card, and also can be moving away from troubled water type of energy. But this is very powerful, but it is in the reverse position. So this is kind of what it makes me feel. There, oh wow, there's so much to unpack here. But isn't that wild? There's a little embryo there and everything. But a lot of it, I look at it with the reversal, and I definitely do feel, when it comes to any kind of life and so forth, we want to be respectful, absolutely. But I also feel that it's not putting the fetus at the top here, which is what people have been trying to do, that this is more important than this. Now, we know what happened, especially Native Americans in this country, right? How they were treated. Were they respected for life? No, they were not. How were they treated and everything? We know how they were. This is held in more importance than even this here. Okay, when we think of, when people came over to, America and what they did to the indigenous people. And also we are even discovering, one of the things that we have been discovering, that buried, there's these, underground, these buried, all these children, and if you look at this looks like the child Native American. This looks like a child. This is not like a grown up. And we know there's how many children were found buried in these places where churches, or people, people of the church, mind you, took them from their homes, stripped them from their families, took away their heritage, cut their hair, and abused them terribly. Okay, that how were they valued? But then we've got this up here. Okay, this, look what happened to these children in comparison to this. Okay, there's a very strong message. So when you see certain things like this embryo being valued, but yet these poor children, and what happened, and things are still happening with indigenous people, like the women, okay, are disappearing. Horrible things. Spirit is not happy, okay, about it at all. At all. Now, I do, of course, I feel that spirit wants everything, all life value. But definitely what they're saying is this, this here, especially, should have been more valued than this. That what I feel like spirit's calling out and saying, you had no value for this life. You destroyed lives. You abused, even horrible things, tortured, sexually horrible things, killed, murdered. Okay, but yet you are valuing this over this. This is a powerful message, guys. This gives me chills. And there's so much I can say, and we know of the horrors of this. So one of the things, definitely, spirit is coming in very strong with this message and everything. That there's a whole lot going on. Okay, and we're, like I said, these Christian nationalists, Christian nation, all this stuff. Okay, look what happened. Okay, so spirit, the time is it's coming. It's coming eventually. Okay, and that people are going to be held accountable. I mean, look how this is all like in this kind of little thing here, and so forth. But then these little children, these indigenous children, what happened to them? That this should be priority over this. Okay, it's just no respect for life. This is to say all life is equal and all this stuff. Then what is happening here? And that is not that has not been their theory. Okay, this is about controlling women. And if there had been a respect for life, those things wouldn't happen to those children. And that's what Spirit's saying. See, when my reads come through, Spirit gives very hardcore messages. And we need, there's a little anger there. There's a little anger, and there's you could say some things are kind of starting to rain down because of things that people have done. Okay, that things that people have done that to be held accountable, and it's definitely I know a lot of you. It's right there. It's right there. Spirit told me to pull this deck for a reason. I didn't even know this card looked like this. I've only worked with it so many times. It's right there, what Spirit's saying. Okay, that what is happening, especially, that this happened. Like, it's like, how can you people sit there and value this little embryo, okay? But this, living child, what did you do to these children? What did you do to my children? Okay, so this is heavy duty stuff. This is a heavy duty message. Wow. So a lot of us, definitely, light workers. This is definitely during a time. One of the things I would say really this would be a good time. We're gonna do some work. I will get a super moon video still, but I actually feel this could be a good time. You're really kind of tuned into however you identify spirit, your guides, whatever deity, whatever, hopefully you have good intentions, okay, to shift everything, hopefully in a positive direction, definitely for healing. Obviously, empowerment of women is a big one. Certain people with the rights, LGBTQ, we're very concerned. So many different things. But anybody, like I said, that oppression, the Ten of Wands is about oppression. Okay, and it's just going to keep inching more and more till eventually really everybody's oppressed. Okay, but a select few at the top. That's inevitably where you think, oh, that person's rights. Well, then that doesn't affect me. That doesn't affect me, and then eventually they come for you, right? Okay, that's the way they're hoping. You always think they ain't coming for you until they do. Okay, so that's a very heavy message. But yeah, that's definitely, and I know a lot of you see that with the children. What is the count? Actually, at this point, let me pull this up here, and then do have to get going soon. I got to get the air conditioner on in a minute. Indigenous children and Canada and deaths. Oh, hold on, it's not pulling up. Indigenous children and Canada and America and the church and deaths. Hopefully, I'm trying to find it. Oh, it's not pulling up right. If I could get it, let's try it this way. Maybe if I say it, Native American children and Canada and deaths and the church. I don't even know if they know how many. Okay, here's an article from the Washington Post. I mean, it's just thousands. Okay. Okay, here. Oh, it's not going to let me do it unless I sign in. Hold on. I hate the Washington Post. Let me find another one. Canada's unmarked graves, how residential schools carried out. This is also, there's cases in America too. But, these various, church type things where they took, all these children. Yeah, Native people of America in the name of God. Yes. Here we go. So what is this going to say? Pope voices pain. Oh, I can't even look. Okay, hold on. Nope. I'm sorry. These articles are horrible because they keep covering. I don't even know how many. When was this article? Okay, here's one I can look at. Okay, this is about a year ago. Solar lights and flags mark the spots where 751 human remains were recently discovered in unmarked graves at the site of the former Maryville Indian Residential School of the Cowases First Nation in Sacagawea on June 27, 2021. Just so many, more than 1,000 graves. And there are still many that they're still finding. And it was extraordinarily emotional and heartbreaking. Archibald describes the powerful testimonies by elders who were only 5 or 6 years old. So there are those who survived when they were taken to the schools, eliciting tears from fellow survivors in the audience. Many survivors still suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, she says. That's where the majority of Canadians... So this was obviously in Canada, but also even in America. Let me go ahead and see. Let's try again. Native American children and the Catholic Church and deaths. I know we have them in here. Yep, there it is. Reports identify abuses of Native American children in U.S. boarding schools. So see, it's in America as well. Of course, we know that. Let me see if I can open this. This is March of 2022. U.S. boarding schools run by Catholics. Oh, here it is. And this is actually U.S. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland, and she's Native American. She got elected. She addressed hundreds of boarding schools supported by the U.S. government for 150 years sought to forcibly assimilate Native American and indigenous children into white society. A first of its kind report from the Interior Department said The report issued May 11th identifies 408 schools in 37 states or territories that tens of thousands of children were forced to attend from 1819 to 1969. This went on for a long time, guys. The period largely coincides with the forced removal of many tribes from ancestral lands. It also said there are 53 marked or unmarked burial sites associated with the schools. Additionally, about 19 of the schools accounted for more than 500 child deaths, the report said. So this is here. The Interior Department said it expects the number of record deaths to increase. The federal government directly ran many of the boarding schools and contracted with Catholic, Protestant, and other churches to operate others. The report said about 50% of the schools received support or involvement from religious institutions or organizations. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops afterward said through a spokesperson that the bishops will look for ways to be of assistance. It's horrible. It's horrible. Halen's action followed the discovery of 215 unmarked graves at the Kamloops Indian residential schools in British Columbia. So we know, obviously in Canada there was a bunch. And so this is, okay, so I wanted to just kind of touch on that. That's what I strongly feel that Spirit is saying. I just wanted to touch on that. Notice we've got all these people doing this whole protection fetus, stop abortion crap. But what about the children? What had been going on all that time? You value life so much. Supposedly, the religious Catholic, and it wasn't just Catholic, there's other, like I said, other religious organizations were behind this, taking these children away from their families, putting them in boarding school to assimilate them into white society, and many of them were tortured, killed, abused. Horrible things happened to them. Horrible things. We already know horrible things happen in foster care, probably even worse to them. Okay, this is what Spirit is saying. And so that you sit there and you do these things too, and notice it's a child. Notice that is a child, clearly. And so and this should be more important than this, but you're valuing this. And saying, oh, it's important, I care so much, I love the little fetuses. What did you do to these guys? What did you do to these children? You hypocrites. That's what Spirit's saying. Flat out, it's right there. It's right there. Very powerful. I know I meant to get to Cern, but you know what? It is all connected. It is all connected. I definitely feel something. So this is what I have to conclude, because I'm reading on this, and this is coming up as my last card, which is a very powerful message that I didn't expect. But Shiva, they can have a temper, okay? Okay, they are the destroyer. And one of the things is to destroy ignorance. This is ignorance, guys. This is ignorance, that there are those that do this, that are all about acting like this is, they care so much and they love these little babies. And this is on their hands. This blood is on their hands. And they're ignoring it, and they're not even seeing it. They see more value in that. That's crazy, guys. That's insane. So, Shiva is here to strip away ignorance, and is standing outside of Cern. So yes, something is going to go down. But I have a feeling no matter what these scientists are doing, Shiva's going to do something. Okay? And the goal, that has always been the goal, especially with Shiva and everything, is to, free people of ignorance. This read, maybe, if it got one or two of you freed a little bit of ignorance, okay, with just that message, then Shiva did their job. Okay? That's the thing. So there definitely is some energy. So this would be a good time, definitely, to set intentions. Yes, tune into this energy, especially as light workers coming together. Which I don't know if I'm necessarily a light worker. I kind of it's kind of like my friend Vicky, who passed. God bless her. She's like, you and I know we're both kind of shades of gray. I know that. And so I kind of agree. We're kind of shades of gray. We kind of dance between the worlds there. But anyway, but I still the light. Of course. We definitely work the light. But we know we're sometimes we're a little shades of gray, a little bit, and everything. But so this would be a good time, especially on the 5th, set intentions. This could be a very powerful time. But this is Shiva energy. Yes, it definitely is. But I definitely, wow, that message, like I said, I don't always know what I'm going to expect, and everything. And that card just, wow. You know, this is why I read tarot, guys. This is why I read tarot, and this is why some of you guys tune in. I hope you enjoy my read.